this is Dr. Danielle Potter here with Canton Center Chiropractic Clinic. I'm joined by Riley today from Advanced Wealth Strategies. So part of why I brought him in is May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're trying to find different people in the community and people that we network with on ways to help people. So one of the things I hear that stresses my patients out the most is their finances, especially with the economy and the interest rates. So I don't think people always understand that they can talk to a financial advisor without necessarily having to have a bunch of money squirreled away. So that's part of why I have Riley here, is to kind of go over some of the services that he offers and hopefully helps de-stress some of my patients. So Riley, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, like Danielle, Dr. D said, I am a financial advisor, and I like to refer to myself as a financial planner because the role that I have day in, day out is a little bit different than I would say the typical advisors of what people would think, right? Where you go and talk about investing. Like you had alluded to, it's really more about financial coaching for me. And the different type of services that we can provide to our clients is super vast, right? We can have a full-on comprehensive financial plan for those individuals that really are looking for a partner to hold them all the way through accountable through a plan, getting to basically building a roadmap to success for them. And then, like you mentioned, some clients are just looking for some guidance for budgeting, or maybe they're saving for college or some big purchase that we're able to help out with. So we can really customize the services that we provide and even customize cost of those services to make sure that it fits for anybody and everybody who would look to a financial coach, financial planner for some help.
Real quick, I'm going to share just a little personal how Riley took a lot of weight off of my shoulders. I've talked to a number of financial planners in the past. Went through chiropractic school, came out with a lot of student loan debt. Now, what do I do with that debt? Riley and I sat down. It's been the first one to actually come up with a plan, like an actual plan on this is what we do. This is how much we're going to put into savings. This is this. And I left that meeting feeling so good, to the point that I was like, I have to tell everybody, and made a Facebook post about it. So I understand people having financial stress and financial worry, and how great you made me feel after that meeting is part of why I want to do this. So can you tell me a little bit how you help people with their stresses, and what kind of
Totally.
clients you work with?
Totally. Well, thank you for the accolades, and I'm always happy to hear and continue to work with clients when they tell me things like that, like you lifted weight off my shoulders, or I feel like I have a clear path forward. Part of how I get job satisfaction is when I'm working with clients, I want you to have that feeling of success, clarity. And part of what I've noticed from a mental health perspective, if you look at the finances, is money is taboo. And a lot of people just aren't used to grappling with communicating about money, even really thinking about it. And sometimes I've found that if you've got a lot going on and you feel like you might be stuck in a situation, that you'll tend to kind of just avoid it.
Mhm.
And the hardest step is just booking a call to come see somebody like me, because you have to talk about it.
Yeah.
And just that alone, I found, can also be very beneficial to people, just to be communicating and talking openly about it, and realizing that it's okay to be where you're at, and that there's hope and solutions that can be implemented to get you to where you want to be, right?
Mhm.
Some of the client situations that I've dealt with just in the past year are not always situations that we're trying to come up with solutions that are perfectly financial, from a financial sense perspective, but more, let's get you into a space where you're happy, comfortable, you feel the weight coming off shoulders. Perfect example would be sometimes we have clients that are working, right? And there's an age gap between their spouse, and spouse is starting to deteriorate in health. Of course, I'm sending them right over to you, Dr. D,
Okay.
but also telling the client that it's okay what you're going through, and let's figure out how can we make everything work. One of the individuals, we actually told her, we know this makes zero financial sense for you, but it makes all the mental sense in the world for your financial well-being in the future. Take some time off work, spend some time with your husband, kind of get everything in order mentally so that you can see that path forward. So it's really just keeping the communication line open and being that hotline for people whenever they have something they're overwhelmed about or anything pop up, they give us a call and we can help them through that.
That's awesome. Can you talk a little bit about how do I want to work with this? Riley and I know each other from our business networking group, and it's come up like people think that to see somebody like you, they have to have a bunch of money that they can invest. But
Yep,
on the flip side, somebody that's dealing with a lot of debt, can you tell me a little bit how you might help them alleviate some of that stress and go through, like
absolutely.
you showed me some cool things with that.
Totally. Yeah, so a lot of the stigma on financial planners is that you have to, right? So yes, absolutely. Sometimes people come in like to invest, but a lot of our clients, we've set them up on what we're calling our tier structure, and it works a lot like a subscription service like Netflix or Hulu, where you get to pick out the certain features and services that you're looking for. In this case, maybe it's debt management. We can help build a step-by-step, month-by-month payment plan, basically, to get you out of you might be in. And it's just a simple subscription fee that you would pay monthly, anywhere from like 50 to $100 a month. You get us to help you through that, making sure that you're taking all the most efficient steps forward. And like I said, getting some of that coaching along the way.
That's awesome. I know that's a
Yeah,
big thing for a lot of people is how do they get out from under these um, monstrosity bills of credit cards and all that sort of stuff. So,
of
um,
course.
can you tell me how else you may have seen, even with some examples, you've helped people alleviate their stresses with mental health and things like that?
Totally. So, like I said, a lot of what I'm doing day in, day out is communicating around the subject of money, right? And it's funny because there are typically, at least I found, and this isn't always the case, but there's typically one spouse in a family who tends to deal with all of the money
Mhm.
and bears that weight, and the other does not, but bears the weight of like, I don't know where I a lot of the time when I'm speaking with clients, we always encourage that both spouses, no matter who's kind of the primary driver of the money side of things, to
Mhm.
be there so that everybody knows what's going on. There's clear communication back and forth. And a lot of the times we'll see clients like talking about money in the meetings from me, right? In an
Yeah.
advisor meeting, and they're just, I never thought about this. Did you have to deal with this?
Mhm.
Or I didn't realize that this is kind of where we're at. This makes me feel better to be able to talk about it and be in this together. So even if it's not giving direct solutions, it's just opening a relation with your partner, with kind of a mediator,
Yeah.
and to bounce ideas off of it and not have that direct, communication issue that sometimes can be an issue for relationships. I know one of the major to divorce is money. And those clients that come out and they have somebody that can mediate that conversation tend to feel a lot more comfortable with money in general, the topic together.
That's awesome. Is there
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
else you want us to know in regards to how talking to a financial planner may help alleviate one's stress and depression that they're dealing with as far as their financial side?
Totally, totally. Yeah. So of course everybody's different and everybody's going through different things. If you're ever wondering, does this even make sense? Even if it's not me, a lot of financial planners and advisors are happy to have you come in for just an hour and talk about what do we have going on? What are you feeling? What is the future? What are you looking for? Right? What is the magic wand solution for you? And continue to work together and how can we? So if, of course, anybody wants to continue to work maybe with me, I'd be happy to have them come in for an hour, just talk about it. And I'm always very upfront about, I hope that even if we don't work together after that hour we spend, you've got some checklist items that you've taken away, so it's worth your time. Because ultimately, my goal is not to continue along with somebody who doesn't feel like it might be the right fit, but to lift some weight off the shoulders. That's
Yeah,
where my job satisfaction comes from. Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, um, anything else? I think that answers all my questions.
Nothing for me other than for having me. I'm honored to be chatting with you about this stuff, and everybody that I've talked to in the community, our networking group, as well as I'm sure many of your clients watching this are going to agree that you do a tremendous amount of work toward mental health,
Oh,
and your tremendously smart wisdom is that literally are probably like a whole bookshelf worth of knowledge. And you talk sometimes about stuff that I'm like, I have no idea what she just said, but I'm going to trust that that makes sense. So anybody, if you are looking, turn to somebody who really knows how to take care of you holistically and really knows how to parse out some of the different things that you might be going through. Talk to Danielle, Dr. Danielle.
well, thank you. That's very sweet.
Yep.
I feel the same
Yeah.
way. You start talking finances, I was like, oh, that's way over here. But that's why I have you to talk to. So thank you so much for
Yep.
your
Yep.
time today. I will make sure that all of your information is posted with this video. So if anybody does feel that stress and that the finances that they're dealing with has been a problem, Riley is a great resource and a friend of mine. So thank you again.
Thank you.
All right.